out of this room up here, this bedroom, and got some drywall installed, and doing drywall up here. And then I'm gonna do, I built this shelf thing because I want to have horizontal boards going this way on the bottom, and I'm gonna frame a shelf and trim it out. But first I gotta get the drywall done. So I got it installed and I got the corner bead in, and now it's like this boring part of mudding, sanding, whatever. But kind of where I'm at. Alright, well I got the 4th coat of mud on. I sanded it 3 times and mudded it 4 times, and this is the final coat. And it probably would have been fine with just 3, but I just want it to look good since it's like the only drywall in the house. It's gonna be the bedroom. I might drywall the other bedrooms, I don't know. Maybe my office, it just depends, but for now, I think I'm just gonna drywall this and only this. Well, we got the drywall done, and Lindsay's been painting it. And I got all these boards done, so there's a shelf. I'll put this pine up vertically, just around the outside wall. Kind of accent wall. I gotta sand it down still. This is where our bed's gonna go. So we both have an outlet on both sides of our bed. Well, working on this room now. Trying to get all the wiring done and this done. And so I got these outlets wired. here I'm putting plastic up for moisture barrier. And at first I wasn't going to use moisture barrier, you know, because there's some dispute about whether or not it's good to use or not. But in our area, it's code, and it makes sense. It keeps the drafts way down. And I think if I lived in Florida or something, I probably wouldn't, because of how wet it is outside. So here we are staining these pine boards that we installed. I think it's called Provincial, and I really like this color. We sanded it for like hours because we stained it with something else before that and we didn't like it, but I think it turned out nice. On to the next portion of the job. I got these dust barriers. This is the bathroom, but I haven't closed this off yet. But put these dust barriers up and kind of plasticed off this upstairs because I'm trying to keep it clean while I work, you know, down here. We got it pretty clean here. This is the bedroom. It's not entirely done. We're gonna add real carpet. This is just kind of some extra carpet I had. It's in pretty decent shape, so we have something. But yeah, it came out real nice. The stain's nice. Still have to wire outlets in. And then these live edge shelves aren't entirely dry, so I haven't nailed them down yet. I cut the miter in the corner, and then I got the closet cleaned out and my clothes rack and stuff. Got vacuumed. Next I'll be doing drywall in here, but I just wanted to seal off an area so I'm not covered in dust because it's kind of annoying. Anyway, so what I'm working on now, I mean, I have to plane all this stuff so you can kind of see it. It doesn't all dry at the same rate, you know. It's just, that's just the nature of rough sawn lumber. And there's shims and whatnot. So, but the way to beat that, you know, to get a good finished product with your Tounge N Groove is by going through and planing all of it down with, take like a level and planing it and make sure that it's all flat. So I got to do that before I plastic it, and I'm cutting out all the insulation bits out of the windows and whatnot so that I can trim those out when I'm done. So there's a lot of prep work involved before I can do this Tounge N Groove. And then I ran the final electrical for this, and it's a 3-way switch. So I got this box, it's a double gang, and I'm gonna have power going up to these lights from this switch. So I'll have the hallway lights, these can lights wired. I got those installed. I gotta gotta wire them up and then close this off and Tyvek tape it back up. And I think I'm gonna do drywall up here, but run a three wire back downstairs, basically through the wall, and stapled it off nice and neat, all to code, and come down above this door and then down here to this. So I have a 3 wire here, and then I have another switch that goes, this is for the porch light, and then this is the light, this is the power in, power out. So I think the outlet run ends here because it does these outlets first, and then it powers this switch box, and then you got one that's going up again, up all the way up there to that light, and I haven't got up there yet, but these will be the can lights that we chain together. So I'll have 4 can lights. I'm gonna have one there, and then same thing on the opposite side, and I'll chain those together with that hot lead there. I can't tell you how nice it is to finally start getting this closed up with plastic and Tounge N Groove. It's been a long time coming. You know, I got sidetracked with outdoor projects. I had to, you know, there's a whole bunch of stuff I had to do outside, but finally getting back to the interior, getting this done is a major milestone for sure. So I got these labeled here. Basically what I'm doing is pulling power off of this circuit since it's upstairs already. I got my 3-way to the front door, and this is power from the nearest outlet, which is that one, and then to can lights in the hall. And Roger said to keep the neutral separate on this one, so the white one's separate. Anyways, that run to the hall, go to these. I'm going to tie these in, and that way it's all on the same breaker upstairs. One thing I get asked a lot is from people on the outside is kind of like, hey, when is it going to be done, or how long do you think it'll take, and stuff like that. And you know, to be honest with you, I don't think it'll ever be done. I think I'll always be adding on to stuff and building additions and tree houses and whatever, you know, forever, because it's what I like to do, and it's more of just like a hobby to me, doing it. You know, it's more about developing my character than racing to some arbitrary destination, you know, which a lot of society thinks is the goal. But the real truth is there's no destination. It's all about the journey. I got this whole side done and plasticed off, nice and neat, window wrap. So now I got to get on the ceiling and let's have a better look at it up here. Basically what I got to do, I'm going to run this one to here, and then I'm going to go up, and I got to punch through that ridge beam, and then I'm going to do 2 on this side. So at first I started planing these rafters, you know, to get them level as I could, but then I decided it'd be easier just to build like a false ceiling for it. So I'm running these horizontal 2x2s across every 2 feet, and if there's any like variances in the trusses, you know, I put shims in them to build about. That way it's a nice straight level surface to mount the Tounge N Groove to. It just seemed like an easier way than trying to plane upside down 25 feet in the air covered in insulation. So right here I'm doing vertical strips 2 feet on center. That way I have something for the Tounge N Groove to nail to. Also, I use 2x10, true 2x10s, which are basically more wood than a store-bought 2x12, but it doesn't leave quite enough room for the insulation bats, so this helps give a little bit more room for the insulation to be where it's supposed to, and more room to work with the electrical. Building with rough sawn lumber definitely has its own challenges. I would say a lot more than if you were just to buy wood from the store. You know, if you're in like a hurry or trying to meet some sort of deadline, it'd be a lot easier and more proficient just to buy it from the store. But I wouldn't have to fur the ceiling out, for example, you know, if it was all 2x12s, I guess. But at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal.
broke down and busted in the middle of nowhere. I hear the roar of Niagara off in the distance as my head hits the pillow. I swear I can see you on the deck of the Maid of the Mist. Ever since I remember, I've had bad vision, like looking through water, trying to add up the shapes, but I can make out the rough lines of someone familiar on the deck of the Maid of the Mist. As I climb in the barrel, I got no worry, not even trembling. I got